Good evening, everyone. Am I audible and visible? Arnab, good evening. Hemil, Stephen, Arnab, Divyani, good evening, all of you. Am I audible and visible? Thank you. Let some more people join in and then I'll begin. Thank you, Stephen. I'm better. Um, let some more people join in and I'll begin. So, welcome to the webinar on art and culture. I have shortlisted a few topics in the last, which occurred in the last 3 or 4 weeks. These are the topics on art and culture: Majuli mask, Rupa Tarakasi, Narasapur crochet, lace craft. So these three have got the GI tag, geographical indication tag. So we will discuss about it. Easy topics. Ayya Vaikundar. So this person was in the news, a social reformer from Tamil Nadu. So I'll be discussing about that. Then, of course, Nana Jagannath Shankar Shet. He, the Maharashtra cabinet has recommended the Indian Railways to name the Central Railway Station, the Mumbai Central Railway Station, after this person called Nana Jagannath Shankar Seth, who sometimes called the architect of modern Mumbai. We will talk about it. Then Bodhshala Temple, Kamal Maula Mosque Complex. So recently, the Madhya Pradesh High Court, the indoor bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, asked the Archaeological Survey of India to use the latest techniques and make a survey, a scientific investigation of this particular temple mosque complex. So we will talk about that. Then two temples of the Badami Chalukyas, have been found on the banks of the Krishna River in the Nalgonda district of Telangana. So very uniquely styled temples, almost intact, though they are 1,300 years old. They're almost intact. So this was in the news. So I have picked up that topic, and then, of course, the Nagara style, the Ayodhya Ram Temple, which is built in the Nagara style, that was in the news. So we will discuss about the Nagara style of architecture prevalent in North India and regional variations to Nagara style, which was there in Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and Gujarat. Right. So easy topics, very simple, factual in nature. So that nothing much to think about. But let us begin. Majuli mask. So Majuli mask. So this is from this place called Majuli. So where is Majuli? This is supposed to be the largest river island in the world, largest river island in the world. And this could be a geography question also. I have put a map of Majuli on your screen. You can see this is between three rivers: the Kherkatia Suti River on your screen, the Kherkatia Suti River, the Subarna Siri River, and the Brahmaputra River. So this is supposed to be the largest river island in the world. And from this place comes a mask called Majuli mask, named after the site of Majuli or the place of Majuli, and also a painting manuscript called Majuli painting. So these two, the mask and the painting, have got recently geographical indication tag. That is, they are unique to that geographical area. And as you all know, the GI tag is issued by the GI registry of the Ministry of Commerce and Industries. So the Department of Commerce and Industries, uh, Department of Commerce and Industry issues the GI tag. So it is issued by the GI registry of the Department of Commerce and Industry. So on your screen, you can see the masks. They're very unique, these masks. So basically made of bamboo, wood, dung, cow dung, cloth, cotton, etc. We have a 15th, 16th century saint of Assam called Shankara Deva. Now, Shankara Deva he introduced Vaishnavism, he popularized Vaishnavism, Krishna Bhakti, Vishnu Bhakti in the region of Assam. So Shankaradeva was a saint of the 15th, 16th century, Shankaradeva, and he was contemporary to the Ahom king. We have the Ahoms, the Ahom dynasty, which ruled Assam, and the word Assam is from the word Ahom. So Shankaradeva was contemporary to this Ahom king called Suhung 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 Mung. Suhungmung, right? So he was this king Suhungmung of the Ahom dynasty. He's supposed to have converted himself to Vaishnavism under the influence of Saint Shankaradeva, and he took a new name, Swarga Narayana. He called himself as Swarga Narayana. Now, Shankaradeva, the saint of Assam, 15th, 16th century saint, he wanted to convey or popularize Krishna Bhakti or Vaishnava Bhakti or Krishna Bhakti through plays. So he established monasteries called satras. So you have monasteries called satras. So he established satras or monasteries. So these were socio-religious and cultural centers of reform. They were socio-religious cultural centers of reform. Introduced by Saint Shankaradeva. Shankaradeva of Assam. So here he used dance, understand this, he used dance, he used music, and he also used instruments, musical instruments, to spread Krishna Bhakti. To spread Krishna Bhakti, he used all these dance, music, and musical instruments, and song, of course, songs to spread Krishna Bhakti. Now, apart from using dance, music, and song to spread Krishna Bhakti, we have Shankaradeva, the saint of Assam, who began to use plays. He began to use plays um, at his hometown. So, what was the name of this hometown? I have mentioned it here. Batadrava. Batadrava. So, okay, so Batadrava. And the play was called Chinna Jatra. Chinna Jatra. So here the plays were basically aimed to spread and propagate Krishna Bhakti, make Krishna worship popular in that region of Assam. So through images, basically this is nothing but Chinna Jatra is nothing but through images he tried to um, make Krishna Bhakti popular. And so he began this type of Chinna Jatra or plays in his hometown called Batadrava, and he was the one who introduced masks. He used masks because he understood or he felt that normal characters could not be conveyed through the facial expressions. So, for example, we have the four-headed Brahma. So, he introduced the four-headed Brahma mask. This was the first mask to be introduced, and of course, Garuda mask. So he depicted Garuda, God Garuda, the Vahan of Vishnu, the vehicle of Vishnu, and four-headed Brahma. So he made two masks like this, and slowly it became popular. So we have various masks. For example, you have gods depicted, goddesses depicted, demons depicted in the masks. Birds and animals are also depicted. Birds, animals are depicted, and of course we have from the Ramayana. From the Ramayana story, we have Ravana mask is there. Hanuman mask is there. Surpanaka. Surpanaka. Who's Surpanaka? The sister of Ravana who fell in love with Lakshman. Rama's brother Lakshman, and then she expressed her love for Lakshman. She wanted to marry him, but he cut off her nose, Surpanaka, right? So, and of course, from the Vishnu cult, we have Varaha. Varaha is the boar incarnation of Vishnu. Narasimha. So you have a Narasimha mask, you have a Varaha mask, right? So all these masks were made popular by Shankaradeva. There are 22 satras or monasteries. You see, there are 22 satras in Assam. In Majuli, rather. In Majuli, there are 22 satras. Initially, these masks were made by all the satras, all the monasteries. But now, only four satras or monasteries make these masks. And these are the satras: Samaguri Satra, Natun Samaguri Satra, Bhimpur Satra, and Alengi Narasimha Satra. So these are the four satras who make masks. So did you understand what I just now said? Did you understand? It's a very simple, easy topic. Can you raise your hand so that I know that you have understood? Okay, very simple, right? Then, yeah, please go slowly. I am trying to go slowly, Dheeraj. So here, I'll try to go slowly, more slowly. Satra is a monastery, Chandrasekhar. Satra is a monastery. And yeah, Virdo is from Assam. With due apologies, Virdo, I may not be spelling or pronouncing these Assamese words in the Assamese slang because I'm not from Assam. So please beg your pardon for that. But then, so yeah, okay. So here, just hold on. So here, these are the various masks made. And now only four satras. There are 22 satras in Majuli or monasteries. So satras are monasteries established by Shankaradeva, Saint Shankaradeva, the Srimanta Shankaradeva as he is called. These are socio-economic, socio-cultural and religious centers of reform in Assam. And he was the one who popularized Vaishnava Bhakti or Vishnu Bhakti or Krishna Bhakti. And to spread the teachings of Krishna, to spread the teachings of Vishnu and whatever stories are there in the Bhagavata Purana, in the Bhagavad Gita, etc., he used dance, song, musical instruments, and also theaters called bhavanas. So basically, please understand, these masks are generally used in bhavanas. Bhavanas are theaters. So theaters. So here we have bhavana is a theater. Bhavnas. These are theaters in Assam. Bhavnas. You have Borgeet. Borgeet is also popular in among the satras. Borgeet are songs composed by Shankaradeva, Borgeets. Then we have the Satriya dance. Satriya dance. This is again a form of dance devised or developed by Shankaradeva, Srimanta Shankaradeva. Now, masks were generally used in the theaters to spread Krishna Bhakti, propagate Krishna Bhakti. But then please understand, it will not become economically viable. So you cannot have a theater or a bhavana every day. It can happen once in a month or once in 2 months. So how will the artist survive? So we have this satra called Samaguri Satra. This particular satra is trying to make this art of mask making economically viable. So artists who make this mask should also survive. Their families should survive. So therefore, an effort is being made nowadays to take it beyond its traditional use. For example, we have in Assam, there's a tradition of putting a scarf or a stole to honor a dignitary. Let's say some boxer or athlete or some politician or a VIP is on the dais. So how do you honor that person? A scarf or a stole is put around his neck. That is called traditionally the gamosa, gamosas. Now, along with gamosas, miniature masks are given to the dignitary. This is one way of spreading Majuli masks, making it popular. Another is a number of visitors, travelers come to visit Majuli. It's the largest river island in the world. So then Majuli masks are sold in Majuli, in that river area, river belt area of Majuli. Then also in galleries and exhibitions, these are depicted. And because of these efforts, we have Majuli mask, which is now displayed in the British Museum, right? This is about Majuli mask. So Samaguri Satra is the one which is trying to take this traditional art beyond the bhavanas or theatrical performances. Satras are monasteries. There's no difference, Sukanya. Another name for monastery is Satra. It is basically a word meaning Satra, meaning monastery in Assam. So in Assam, monasteries are called Satras, particularly with reference to the monasteries established by Srimanta Shankaradeva. Right? This is about Majuli Mask. Majuli in Assam, Mumtaz. Majuli is in Assam. Right? British Museum is it is in Britain. British Museum, right? So it has gone beyond, it has become popular, it has gone beyond India. Monastery is a place where monks reside. Chandrasekhar, monastery is a place where monks reside. Right? That is what is known as a monastery. A mutt. Another word is mutt, but here in a mutt or a monastery, in the context of Vaishnavism, Neo-Vaishnavism, it is also a place where Vedic knowledge is imparted, teachings are given, apart from monastery serving the purpose of residence for the produced by Shankaradeva, Srimanta Shankaradeva. They are locally made from bamboo, wood, cloth, cow dung, etc. And these are generally these masks are used in bhavanas or theatrical performances, which were popularized by Srimanta Shankaradeva to spread Vaishnava Bhakti or Krishna Bhakti in Assam. But then nowadays it is also used beyond its traditional purpose because it is necessary to make the masks economically profitable for the artists, for the artisans who make these masks. So that's what I was telling. Video issue is there. Rashida says there's a video issue. What about others? Are you clear? Whatever I just now said, I mean, any video issue? Rashida says there's a video issue. There's no issue, says Rashida. Maybe from your end. Yeah, maybe from your end. Okay, thank you. So this is about Majuli mask. Okay, so apart from Majuli mask, we have another painting. Okay, from Majuli. It is called Majuli manuscript painting. Majuli manuscript painting. This painting also has received the GI tag, geographical indication tag. So this painting comes from Majuli. This also belongs to the 16th century. This type of painting, and it is done on a particular type of tree, the bark of a tree called the Sanchi or agar tree. So these manuscripts, what are manuscripts? It is like a slate, okay, like a like we write on paper. So earlier you have palm leaf manuscripts. So there was no paper, so everything was written on palm. So similarly, manuscript here, the bark of the Sanchi or agar tree. So on that painting is done. That is called manuscript. So here they use locally homemade ink to make these paintings. And again, who introduced Majuli manuscript painting? Again, Srimanta Shankaradeva, the saint from Assam, so 15th, 16th century saint from Assam, right? He was the one who introduced this. So GI tag is that tag, Palak, uh, which is given to a particular product, unique to a particular geographical area. And this is sort of a trademark for that particular product in the international market. The GI registry of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry is the one which gives the GI tag, right? So that's how it is. Now, understand this. The first painting of this Majuli manuscript painting is that of the illustration of Adya Dasama. So there's a book called Adya Dasama, part of the Bhagavat Purana. So Bhagavata Purana, it talks about Vishnu. Okay. And a part of this Bhagavat Purana is Adya Dasama. So Adya Dasama, this is written by Shankaradeva, this book, which is part of Bhagavata Purana. It is written in Assamese language. And this story is illustrated. I want you to understand what is the meaning of illustration. What we call book illustration. What is the meaning of book illustration? Okay, all of you, book illustration. Let us understand that. So, what is book illustration? So now, let's say you know the Ramayana story. Let me presume you know the Ramayana story, all of you, the details. So let's take let's take a piece of book. Let's take a book. Okay, let's say this is a page. Okay, this is a book with 2 pages. Okay, so it has 2 pages. So then I will explain a story here. On one part of the page, there is a story of a part of the Ramayana. Let's say Shurpanaka, the sister of Ravana, nose is cut off by Lakshman. Lakshman, she likes Lakshman. She wants to marry him, but Lakshman is not interested, and she is a demoness, so demon. So therefore, he cuts off her nose. So she goes and complains to her brother Ravan, saying that Rama's wife Sita, who is the brother of Rama, no Rama, who's the brother of Lakshmana. So Sita's wife is very beautiful. Sita is very beautiful, the Rama's wife, and she should be your wife, not Rama's wife. So this is so Surpanaka goes and conveys the beauty of Sita, Sita Mata to Ravana. So Ravana is the one who wants to kidnap her. So idea was given by his sister. So he takes the help of a demon, okay, demon called Maricha, who knew magic. So tells Maricha, you appear as a golden deer near the ashram, and then we will lure away Rama and Lakshmana away from Sita, because if they are there, Ravana cannot easily kidnap Sita. So Maricha takes the form of a golden deer. He appears near the ashram where Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita are staying. Sita sees the golden deer and she says she wants it. Rama says, in nature you don't have a golden deer. It is a trick. It seems to be somebody's mischief. But she is insistent, persistent. So he goes behind the deer, chasing the deer to catch it. And then Lakshmana, he leaves Lakshmana behind. So all these stories are there. And Ramana is all the way, all the time, seeing, watching everything behind the tree. And later there's a scream. Supposedly Rama is calling for Lakshmana. Sita gets scared that something has happened to Ram. And then she tells Lakshman to go away, go to the assistance of his brother. Lakshman says, nobody can harm Rama. But she says you have to go. So he puts a line, Lakshmana Rekha, and then he goes away, telling Sita not to cross that Rekha or line. So let us say this is the story mentioned in one page. Right? The same is depicted in the form of a painting here. This is called book illustration. Did you get me here? Okay, this is called book illustration. Can you raise your hands? That is called book illustration. So here we have the stories given in Adya Dasama. Adya Dasama is part of Bhagavad Purana in Assamese language. And those stories in Adya Dasama are depicted in the form of painting. This is the first example of Majuli manuscript painting. Okay, great. Now we'll come back here. So this is also a painting which has got a GI tag. So this is the end of this topic. Yeah, I have put a picture here on your screen. You can see this is a painting of Majuli manuscript painting. This has also got GI tag. So probably Satriya is generally performed in Satras only. Yeah, Satriya is a form of dance introduced by Srimanta Shankara Deva. So the rules of this dance was laid by him. So this is one of the classical dances. Satriya is one of the classical dances of India. Among the 8 classical dances, Satriya is one of them. Right? Okay. Now we'll come to Rupa Tarakasi. We have so Adya Dasama, I told you, Dheeraj, it is a book in Assamese language, part of Bhagavata Purana, written by Shankara Deva. And the stories there are depicted in the form of paintings. That is called Majuli manuscript painting. That is the first example of Majuli manuscript painting, native to the region of Majuli. Now let us come to another product which has got GI tag, Rupa Tarakasi. Rupa Tarakasi. This is the silver filigree work of Odisha, Cuttack. So this is native to Cuttack. Silver filigree work from the region of Cuttack in Orissa, or Odisha as it is called. So this has also got GI tag. Now, so what is this silver filigree work? Now you can see the picture. I have put pictures on your screen. Basically, you see, you have a brick. This is a silver brick. Okay, this is a silver brick. This is a silver brick. Okay, and from this is a silver brick, and from this brick, fine silver threads are made. Okay, or foils. silver foils are made, and the jewelry which is made from this silver thread is called Rupa Tarakasi. The jewelry, the silver jewelry made from such silver threads or foils is called Rupa Tarakasi. So Rupa Tarakasi. Now, I believe Tara, tar is a wire, Hindi mein tar. So Tara is, or Tara is a wire, and Kasi is design, I believe. So that's where the word Tarakasi comes from, wire design. We are not very sure as to who introduced this art or craft rather, but then it is said that it existed in the 12th century AD. Even the Mughals promoted this, I believe. Mughals patronized this art of Tarakasi. Um, the Rupa Tarakasi from Odisha's Cuttack. So this is native to Cuttack. It is unique to Cuttack rather. Unique to Cuttack. And generally, Rupa Tarakasi is made by boys. Young boys are the ones who reduce the silver bricks into thin foils or threads. So why young boys are preferred? Preferred because they have dexterous fingers, small fingers, and also a keener eyesight compared to the older people. So they have sharp eyes, much more. The vision is much more clearer, so they're able to make it quickly also. Now this is called Rupa Tarakasi. The handicraft corporation of Odisha is called Utkalika. So this Utkalika handicraft corporation of Odisha was the one who applied for the GI tag, and it has received the GI tag. Okay. Now, so it is said that this Rupa Tarakasi, the silver filigree work from Cuttack, Odisha, is very similar to the silver filigree work in other parts of the world. So that's what the document which was submitted before the GI registry says, that it is very similar to the silver filigree work of Arabia, Malta, Genoa, Norway, Denmark, Scandinavian countries, etc. So it's very similar to that, I believe, right? So this is about silver Rupa Tarakasi, native to Orissa, Cuttack. So nowadays we have some unique products made in only Cuttack, like Durga Puja Medha. These are silver decorations for the Durga idol in Pandal, I believe. Odissi jewelry, then religious cultural pieces, Dama chain. These are all localized to Cuttack. So these are all made of silver. So the base material is silver. The different grades of silver are used. But then there are other metals also used. Like, for example, copper, zinc, cadmium, tin, they're also used. So the core process of making this Cuttack silver filigree work has remained the same for centuries. Only some of the materials, some of the tools and instruments to make the silver filigree have changed. Slightly they changed, but basically the design and the products have changed. The process remains the same, but the design and the product, the end design and the product have changed. And different dynasties ruled Orissa, including Cuttack, and it has taken different forms. The silver filigree work has taken different forms. This is called Rupa Tarakasi, silver filigree work from Cuttack, Orissa, which has got GI tag. This is another topic. Easy. Are you clear? Okay. Subrakant says it happens every year, and it is like a competition in Cuttack. Okay. Thank you, Subrakant. I did not know that. So we'll move on. This is Rupa Tarakasi. Very simple. Then we come to Narsapur crochet lace craft, another product which has got GI tag. Narsapur crochet lace craft. So Narsapur is a place in West Godavari, Narsapur. So this is from West Godavari, Narsapur. And we have two Scottish people. So this couple were there in the 19th century, I believe. Two Scottish couple. I mentioned here, McCrae and his wife. So they were part of a Christian missionary based in a place called Dummugudem. This is presently in Telangana, a place called Dummugudem. So they were Scottish Christian missionaries living in those days in the region of Telangana at a place called Dummugudem. And they were the ones who introduced this Narsapur crochet lace craft. Now, it is again confined to the region of West Godavari and Godavari. So here you see you have West Godavari. So this is only confined to 19 mandals, I believe. I mentioned it here, 19 mandals. 19 mandal. Mandal is something like a, a group of panchayats are called mandals. Something like a taluk, if I'm right. So West Godavari, 19 mandals. And in the Godavari region, it is confined to the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Konasima district. So this district, name of the district is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Konasima district. So this craft is only confined to these two regions, 19 mandals in West Godavari and B.R. Ambedkar, Konasima district in Godavari. No other part of Andhra or Telangana we have this particular crochet lace craft, Narsapur crochet lace craft. Now, I believe during the COVID-19 pandemic, you have this particular craft, which was in a lot of trouble because there were no orders coming. So the artisans who pursue this craft were unemployed. So you have the COVID-19 pandemic, a lack of orders, and competition from China's machine-made lace products. So I have mentioned it here. You can see. So because of these three reasons, COVID-19 pandemic, lack of new orders, and China's machine-made lace products. Because of this reason, this particular craft almost was paralyzed. Now, with the GI tag given to this product, it is expected that again it will revive. The craft will revive, and there'll be also exports. A lot of demand for this particular lace craft. It is mostly done by women. So about almost 60% of the people who pursue this craft are women of that region, West Godavari and Godavari districts of Telangana. So 15,000 people, almost 15,000 women are involved in this particular craft. This is called Narsapur crochet lace craft, which has got GI tag, introduced by two Scottish people, Macrae and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Macrae. So yeah, that is another district, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Konasima district in Godavari region. Crochet, Narsapur crochet lace craft. That's called crochet lace craft. So I don't know the meaning of crochet, Stephen. I'm sorry. Just Google and find out. Crochet, it's spelled as crochet. It's a lace craft. Okay. So I apologize for that. I don't know the meaning of crochet. So we'll come back here. This is another. It is like necklace, he said. Dhyana says it's like a necklace. Okay. I'm not very sure about that. Maybe. The crochet is almost like knitting bag, says Sakshi. Okay. The women would know better, I suppose. Oh, thank you. We'll come back here. So we have another personality who was in the news. A person called Ayya Vaikundar, a social reformer from Tamil Nadu called Ayya Vaikundar, who lived in the 19th century. Now, how was he in the news? We have the 192nd birthday of Ayya Vaikundar, which was celebrated on March the 3rd, 2024. 192nd birth anniversary. As you can see on your screen, this is supposed to be the symbolic representation of Ayya Vaikundar, the statue of Ayya Vaikundar. Now, the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, paid tribute to Ayya Vaikundar. And then we have the governor of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Ravi. He said that he was an incarnation. Ayya Vaikundar was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And he took this incarnation to prevent the destruction of Sanatana Dharma. So there was a lot of backlash against this governor's statement. Governor of Tamil Nadu stated that Ayya Vaikundar was an incarnation of Vishnu who took birth on this earth to save Sanatana Dharma. We will not go into the controversial aspects of this particular statement made by the governor of Tamil Nadu, because there was a lot of criticism in the media in Tamil Nadu as regards the governor's statement. We will not go into that aspect. The political aspect of that. We will only stick to who was this person called Ayya Vaikundar and what are his contributions. Okay, what are his contributions? He was a social reformer, and during those days, he spoke about equality, fraternity. Fraternity is brotherhood, and he was against caste discrimination. Number of rules to ease the restrictions imposed on the lower castes. So he spoke about he so he was a social reformer, and he's supposed to have founded this sect called Ayyavasi sect. Ayyavasi sect. So he was born in 1809. So he lived in the 19th century. Ayya Vaikundar. So what are the various reforms brought out by him? One is, of course, you don't need to remember the Tamil equivalent names. Difficult unless you are from Tamil Nadu and you know Tamil. Otherwise, the English version, equivalent is good enough. So he established community eateries, I believe. Community eateries, like you have in Gurudwaras, you have the langar, langar, where everybody is welcome. Anybody can go and eat in a langar, irrespective of caste, religion, sex, etc. Like that, he established community eateries in Tamil Nadu, where all people from all backgrounds were welcome. So this was very unique during those days when people were discriminated on the basis of caste. Then that is number one. Number two is lower caste people would not be allowed to use the community wells, the village community wells. Village community wells would be used only by the upper caste. So therefore, to solve this problem for the lower caste, he ordered the construction of community wells, so common wells for the lower caste. So that was another social reform of Ayya Vaikunda. Third is you see the priests, the pujaris, Brahmin pujaris, they will throw vibhuti. Vibhuti is that sacred ash, kumkum, from a far distance. So people are waiting in the queue for arati, darshan, etc. So the pujaris will not touch the devotee; they will throw kumkum and vibhuti from a far distance. Ayya Vaikundar inspired these pujaris, the Brahmin pujaris, to put a common tilak on everybody's forehead without discriminating on the basis of caste. So that is called Tottunamam. Tottunamam. So the priests were inspired to, apply a tilak or a tika on the forehead of all people who are in the queue waiting for darshan of the god. And this was in the form of a flame. This was in the form of a flame, I believe. So that is another reform he introduced. Then he also encouraged people to wear turbans and dhotis to promote equality. So when devotees came to a temple, if they're dressed similarly with a dhoti and a turban, so that was another thing. Then he also promoted vegetarianism and discipline amongst his devotees. So they in turn spread vegetarianism and discipline throughout Tamil Nadu. Further, he also established common places where they could, common temples, you can call it, as, what you call community worship spaces. Community worship spaces. There was no idol or a deity there, image there. There was no Brahmin priest. So all the shlokas were in Tamil language. So anybody could go there and pray without a form. There was no form, God with form. Like in Brahma Samaj, there's no idol worship. So they believe in a formless God, the Brahma Samajas. Like that, you have community worship spaces established. Okay, and also you have community kitchens and basic schools attached to these community worship spaces, community kitchens and commons, basic schools. Then he also introduced marriage rituals without a Brahmin or without Sanskrit mantras, without uttering Sanskrit mantras, without a Brahmin priest. Inclusive marriage custom was introduced. And he pioneered education for the lower castes, including girls and women, and opposed discriminatory taxes. So these are all the various reforms of Ayya Vaikundar, a 19th century social reformer from Tamil Nadu. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Subrakant. So this is Ayya Vaikundar. Then we go to another personality, Nana Jagannath Shankar Seth. Nana Jagannath Shankar Seth. So here the Maharashtra cabinet, the cabinet of Maharashtra recommended the Indian Railways to name the Mumbai Central Station, the Central Railway Station, after this personality called Nana Jagannath Shankar Seth. So who was he? So he was an educationist, a philanthropist, a community leader from Mumbai, those days called Bombay. So Jagannath Shankar Seth, he was a social reformer, educationist, philanthropist. So what are his contributions? Why the government of Maharashtra has recommended his name for the Mumbai Central Railway Station to be named after him. So therefore, he was in the news. So let us talk about him. Very simple. He is considered to be the architect of modern Mumbai. He's supposed to be the architect of modern Mumbai, and not only through money. So he was a rich man, born rich. So not only through money, but also through ideas, he contributed towards the laying of a strong foundation, a strong inclusive society in Bombay, present day Mumbai. So let us talk about him. So he was a social reformer and a community leader. He was supposed to be the first Indian to be nominated to the Mumbai Legislative Council. So that is the number one. First Indian to be nominated to the Bombay Legislative Council. Then his family owned a lot of lands. So what he did is he gave away those lands in donation for the promotion of education. So by giving away lands to various people, he promoted education that way, where schools and colleges came up. In fact, he was the person who founded the native school of Bombay, and the native school of Bombay, which later became or grew into the Elphinstone College. So Elphinstone College is a very famous college in Mumbai. So this native school of Bombay, established by Jagannath Shankar Seth, became the Elphinstone College. This is another contribution of his. Then he was the one who was the inspiration behind the establishment of modern medical education, medical facilities in Mumbai. So he was the inspiration behind introducing modern medical facilities in Bombay. So in fact, the Grant Medical College was named after this British officer called Sir Robert Grant. He was the governor of Mumbai. So Robert Grant, he wanted a modern hospital to be established in Mumbai. He had suggested that, but unfortunately he died. So when this hospital was finally completed, it was Jagannath Shankar Seth who recommended the name of Robert Grant. This hospital be named after Robert Grant. So now it's called the Grant Medical College, and it is one of the oldest medical institutions in South Asia, I believe. So this is another contribution of his. He also was the person who was one of the patrons. He had made donations to this museum called Dr. Bhaudhaji Lad Museum in Bombay at a place called Baikulla. So Dr. Bhaudhaji Lad Museum. So he gave donations for the construction of that particular museum. He built a number of temples. One temple after his mother called Bhavani Shankar Temple. It was named after his mother, Bhavani Bai Murkute, like that. And then we have the first railway line from Bombay to Thane, that is Boribandar to Thane. So this was inaugurated on 1853, April 16th, 1853. So the project which was behind this railway line, the first railway line in India, Boribandar to Thane, the project was encouraged, by a Parsi gentleman called Jijaboy, that is Dr. Jamsed Jiji Boy, and of course, Dr. Shankar Seth. So the project was given impetus, encouragement by these two philanthropists. So this is about Jagannath Shankar Seth, and that is the reason probably why the Maharashtra cabinet has recommended his name for the Mumbai Central Railway Station. So it is yet to be announced, but then this is a recommendation, and he was in the news. So this is Jagannath Shankar Seth. So who's a philanthropist? Philanthropist is who is involved in voluntary welfare measures. He gives help, donations, or in kind or in money, and tries to help the people. Welfare measures, welfare-oriented person, right? This is Jagannath Shankar Seth. Okay, so factual information. Then we have, yeah, I will think about it, Dheeraj. Please make test discussion video for history prelims test. We'll see that. Now we'll move on. Bhojashala Temple, Kamal Maula Mosque Complex. Bhojashala Temple, Kamal Maula Mosque Complex. Now we have in the Madhya Pradesh High Court, indoor bench, the indoor bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court. has ordered the ASI, the Archaeological Survey of India, to conduct scientific investigation, survey, and excavation of this temple and mosque complex called Bhojashala Kamal Maula Mosque Complex. Now you need to understand, we need to understand what is this Bhojashala Temple Kamal Maula Mosque Complex. Now, you see, um, this is supposed to be a temple according to an ASI report, according to the Archaeological Survey of India report. Once upon a time, this Bhojashala was a temple of Vagdevi. Vagdevi is another name for Saraswati. So this was basically a Saraswati temple, which was converted into a mosque later by the Islamic rulers forces. And we know this, in North India, with the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate, we have a number of temples, Jain temples, Hindu temples demolished, and they were converted into mosques. And you might ask why. The reason is, you see, when the Turks came to India and established the Delhi Sultanate, 1206, we have the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate. They came to loot and plunder. They did not come here to do anything else but to loot and plunder. So, having come to India, having defeated the local rulers and conquered a particular portion of their territory, their religion, they were all Muslims, as you know, Turks were Muslims. Their religion demanded that they pray 5 times in a day. And one time on a Friday, go to the mosque for what's called Jummah day. Now, here in India, there were no mosques. In North India, there were no mosques. The earliest mosque in India is in Kerala. It's called Cheruman Juma. Cheruman Juma. This is the earliest mosque in India, in Kerala, built by the Arabs. So Arabs were the ones who introduced Islam in India because they used to come to trade in Kerala. They introduced Islam in Kerala because Arabs used to come to trade to pick up spices, cotton, textiles, etc. So they were the ones who introduced Islam in India. So here, that is the oldest mosque in India. Now we'll come back here. So their religion demanded that they pray 5 times in a day and one time in a week, that is on a Friday, go to the mosque and pray together. So it's a congregational religion. Islam, like Christianity, is a congregational religion. Christians go to church on a Sunday, Muslims go to mosque on a Friday. Now, what they did is, since they demand, in order to fulfill the tenets of their religion, the laws of their religion, they demolished temples or Hindu temples or Jain temples, and out of the rubble or the bricks and the mud, etc., they built up a mosque. And they told Hindu artisans to do that because they did not come with architects, engineers, masons. So they told the Hindu artisan to build a mosque. So we have initial stages. I discuss all these things as part of traditional art and culture topics. But then I'll confine myself to this part, current affairs, Bhojashala Temple, Kamal Maula Mosque Complex. So this is one of the temples in North India, which was converted into a mosque. But then uh, Hindus claim that this is their temple, and therefore, in a writ petition filed before the Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, a Hindu organization has said that offering namaz in this particular complex should be stopped, and this entire complex should be handed over to the Hindus. Now, according to an agreement with the ASI in 2003, only on Tuesdays, Hindus pray in this Bhojashala complex. The Hindus pray there. On a Friday, Muslims offer their namaz in this complex. So only 2 days in a week. Tuesdays, Hindus pray in the temple, and on Fridays, Muslims are allowed to do namaz. Rest of the days it is closed. So, because of this writ petition, the High Court of Madhya Pradesh, the Indore bench, ordered the ASI to demystify this entire story of Bhojashala temple, whether it's a temple, whether it's a mosque. So the High Court also ordered latest techniques to be used, including GPR, ground penetrating radar. So ground GPR technique, ground penetrating radar. So they said you use this also, and GPS, global positioning system. So use all these things and try to find out and try to demystify this whole issue of Bhojashala temple Kamal Mola mosque complex. So both the communities are claiming this to be their sacred place. Now, according to tradition, we have the Bhojashala temple built by Raja Bhoja, who was one of the kings of the Paramaras of Malwa. So Paramaras, you can see here, this is the Bhojashala temple Kamal Mala mosque complex. I put a picture here. Now, Raja Bhoja was belonging to the Paramaras of Malwa. So they ruled, one of the Rajput dynasties, ruled between 9th and 14th century. So Raja Bhoja, he was the greatest of the Paramaras of Malwa. So he is supposed to have built the Bhojpur city, founded the city of Bhojpur, which is now in Bihar. He built a lake called Bhojpur Lake, and he also built a Saraswati. He also built a library, a Sanskrit library inside a Saraswati temple called Bhojashala. So he founded the city of Bhojpur in Bihar. He excavated the Bhojpur lake, and then he also built a Sanskrit college inside a Saraswati temple called Bhojashala. So he called that temple as Bhojashala or Saraswati Kanta Bharana Vidyalaya. It's also called Saraswati Kanta Bharana Vidyalaya. Now, Raja Bhoja used to worship goddess Saraswati. Goddess Saraswati is the goddess of learning, as you all know. So he worshipped her as Vag Devi. So he called Saraswati, goddess Saraswati, as Vag Devi. And even now, during the Gnanapit Award ceremony, so apart from the stole and the cash prize, you have a statue of Vagdevi given to the winner of Gnanapit Award. So I have put the statue here. This is the statue of Vagdevi, which is another name for goddess Saraswati. Now, Raja Bhoja is supposed to have built 104 temples. Totally, he built 104 temples. One was Bhojashala. And according to tradition, Kalidasa was in his court. So you see, Kalidas, one of the Navaratnas in the court of Chandragupta II, Vikramaditya. So actually, history tells us that Kalidasa, along with Navaratnas, was in the Ujjain court of the Gupta king, Chandragupta II, Vikramaditya. But according to folklore, according to tradition or folklore, he was in the court of Raja Bhoja, the king of the Paramaras. So this is about Bhojashala temple, Kamal Mala mosque complex issue, which was in the news recently. Are you there with me? Where is this temple? It is in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. It is in Indore. Dhar, I think this is in Dhar. Okay, so this is in the Dhar district. This is in the state's Dhar district. So this is in Dhar district of Madhya Pradesh. Present day Dhar district of Madhya Pradesh. Sir, you told in north. What is north? Dhar district near Indore. What is your question, Pooja? Yeah, I have explained, Dheeraj. Whatever I could explain, I have explained. This is the Kamal Mola mosque controversy as of now. Okay. Are you there with me? All of you? Easy, na? It's not difficult. Yeah, this Bhojpur, the city of Bhojpur, was founded by Raja Bhoja. It is in present day Bihar, Bhojpur, and then Bhojpur Lake. So you see, those areas were also ruled by the Paramaras. Apart from Madhya Pradesh area, they also ruled parts of Bihar. Okay, so now it is in Madhya Pradesh. Which one? The Dhar district. This temple is in Dhar district. But then Raja Bhoja, I was talking about Raja Bhoja, his contributions. Bhojashala is a temple built by him, according to factual data. So Bhojpur Lake is also in Bhojpur. Okay, fine. Then we have the Badami Chalukya temples. Badami Chalukya temples and inscriptions discovered along Krishna River. So this was another issue which was in the news. So in the Nalgonda district of Telangana, present day Telangana, Nalgonda district, on the banks of the river Krishna. So Telangana's Nalgonda district, banks of the river Krishna, 2 temples have been recently found. almost in intact condition. They are about 1,300 years old. 1,300-year-old temples have been found. 2 temples. And this is near the village of Mudi Manikyam. So this name of the village is near this village called Mudi Manikyam. Mudi Manikyam in Nalgonda district of Telangana. Now, what is so unique about these temples? So you see, they belong to the period of the Badami Chalukyas. Chalukyas of Badami. Badami in the Bagalkot district of Karnataka. So Chalukyas of Badami. So Badami, another name for Badami is Vatapi. This is in the present day Bagalkot district of Karnataka. And when we study ancient India, we study about the Chalukya Pallava conflict. Both these dynasties, Chalukyas and Pallavas, fought against each other over the Krishna Tungabhadra basin. They fought over the Krishna Tungabhadra basin. The Chalukyas of Badami versus the Pallavas. The Chalukyas, the greatest of the Chalukya kings was Pulakeshi. You all know that. Pulakeshi II, he was the greatest of the Chalukyas of Badami, who defeated Harshavardhana when Harsha wanted to conquer South India. It was Pulakeshi who defeated Harsha. He also defeated the Pallava king Mahendravarman I and killed him. Later, of course, Pulakeshi lost his life to Narasimhavarman of the Pallavas. Now, the Chalukyas of Badami are famous for the Vesara style of architecture. Vesara style of architecture. So, what is Vesara style? It is a mixture of Nagara, North Indian Nagara, and South Indian Dravida. So, North Indian style of temples are called Nagara style. South Indian style is called Dravida style. An amalgamation of the two, a mixture of the two, is called Vesara style. Now, the Chalukyas of Badami built also a number of cave temples. So, they built cave temples. There are 4 cave temples at Badami. And they also built a number of structural temples. They also built structural temples, freestanding structural temples in the Vesara style. Okay, now what is so unique about these 2 temples which have been found in Telangana as of now, recently? This is an amalgamation of 2 unique styles. They have been called Kadamba Nagara. They have been called Kadamba Nagara style, Kadamba Nagara style, and Rekha Nagara style. Rekha Nagara. So this is supposed to be a hybrid style. The 2 temples which have been found recently in the Nalgonda district, it is a mixture of Kadamba Nagara style and Rekha Nagara style. Now, what is this Kadamba Nagara style? We have pyramidal shikaras. Pyramidal shikaras are there. What is a shikara? Shikara, so in South Indian temples, please understand, in South Indian temples, you have the Garbhagriha. We have a Garbhagriha even in North India. So let's say this is the Garbhagriha. This is a Shiva temple, let us say. This is the door of the Shiva temple. In South India, Dravida style, you have the spire which is pyramidal in shape. It is like a pyramid, right? And the topmost part of a South Indian Dravida temple is called Shikara. This is called Shikara. And the spire along with the Garbhagriha. So this is called a spire. What is a spire? A dual. A spire is a dual or a tower on top of the Garbhagriha. That's called in English a dual, or sorry, it is called a dual or a spire. So this is this is pyramidal in shape. It is like a pyramid. Okay, and along with the spire and the Garbhagriha in South India, it's called Vimana. So this is called Vimana. Okay, now look here. In North India, how is it? In North India, So this is the picture of a Dravida temple. Whatever I have drawn here, this is the picture of a Dravida temple. Okay, how a Dravida temple will look. Dravida temple. Now I'll draw another picture next to that. You see here, this is the picture of a Nagara temple. So here you have the Garbhagriha, and then on top of the Garbhagriha, we have a curvilinear tower. It curves to a point at the top like this. There's a fluted disc called Amalaka, and there's a kalash kept. In North India, this is a spire. As you all know, this is called a spire in English, or a dual. Now in North India, the spire itself is called Shikara. The spire itself is called Shikara. Now I'll come back here. In this temple, in these two temples found in Nalgonda district, they are a unique combination of Kadamba Nagara Shikaras, Kadamba Nagara style, and Rekha Nagara style. So what is so unique about Kadamba Nagara style? So they are pyramidical shikaras with a kalash on top. So they are pyramidical in shape, the shikara, and then there's a on the top you have a pinnacled kalasha. On the top you have a pinnacled kalasha. Kalasha is supposed to be a vessel, kalash, which contains the nectar, suppose symbolic representation of the nectar, the amrut, which the gods and the demons fought for. So Kadamba Nagara, pyramidal shikara with a pinnacle kalasha. Rekha Nagara is what? Rekha Nagara is the type of shikaras found in North India. So you have a curvilinear tower, and on four sides you have a curve. So gentle curve on four sides. And slowly they rise to the top and they meet in a fluted disc like this. So four-sided uh, curvilinear shikara. So curvilinear, this is called Rekha Nagara style, which is very similar to North Indian style. So this is these two temples which have been found are in this style. Okay, Rekha Nagara or Latina, Rekha Prasad or Latina style. So we'll come to that in some time. So this is how it is. Now, in one of the temples, what we have found is we have found a sanctum sanctorum without a linga. So linga is not there in the sanctum sanctorum or Garbhagriha. Linga is missing, but we have a Panavatta. What is a Panavattam? You see, understand this. If you have noticed a Shiva Linga, it is something like this. So excuse my drawing, right? So you have it is like this, and this is the linga. Do you get me? Now, this is the linga, and this part is called Panavatta. Are you there with me, all of you? Hello? Increase font size, okay. Dheeraj says that. So you see here, you have the Shivalinga like this, okay. Then this is the linga with one, then you have the linga on top. This is the linga. This is linga, and this is called Panavattam. Panavattam. So this is a sacred metal base. This has been found. Panavattam has been found without a linga. And then in another temple, we have found a Vishnu idol. So this is one thing. Second is, we have an inscription found. In one of the temples, we have found an inscription with a word called Gandalo Ranru. Gandalo Ranru. Gandalo. So I'll divide it into two parts. Gandalo Ranru. Now, historians are not able to understand the full meaning of this word called Gandalo Ranru. But then the first part of this word, Ganda, Ganda, in Kannada is supposed to be a hero. Ganda is a hero. So probably this was a title bestowed upon some important personality or a hero of that era. Gandalo Ranru. Did you get me that? Gandalo Ranru. This is supposed to be a title probably bestowed upon a hero of that particular era. And then, of course, we have a Rama temple, again found in this village called Mudi Manikyam. We have found a Rama temple. And on two pillars, we have some inscriptions. Something has been written. One of the pillars is legible. Another pillar you cannot read. It is illegible. Another pillar is legible. We can read what has been written. And here we have donations. A lot of information is there regarding donations made to the temple from various parts of present day Andhra. Some from far away places, people have made donations to the temple. That is what has been written on that inscription. It is supposed to be 350 years old. That inscription is about 350 years old. These two temples are 1300 years old. So they are in a unique style. As you can see here, they are in the Kadamba Nagara style along with Rekha Nagara style. Are they with me, all of you? Chanchal. These names are big and difficult to remember. You don't need to. You just go through it, understand the topic, and in the question, in the prelims, if they ask you, your answer is there on the paper. You don't need to write much in prelims, isn't it? You just have to mark it. In the mains, they might ask you about Vesara style of the Badami Chalukyas. So we will discuss that as part of art and culture. But this is only the current affairs section. So I'm trying to explain that. So don't worry about that. Just remember these things. They'll not ask you Gandalor Andru. What is Gandalor Andru? They will not ask you all those things. Don't worry about it. Are you clear? Hello, all of you. So Badami Chalukya temples, they are in the Vesara style. A combination of Nagara, Dravida. Two temples have been found in present Nalgonda district of Telangana. They are in a unique style, which is very unique to Telangana again. Kadamba Nagara style and Rekha Nagara style. It's an amalgamation of these two. Then we have found an inscription with a title called Gandallo Randru, which is supposedly probably the first part of this word is a hero. It's referring to a hero. Probably he was commemorated with this title. And the second inscription we have found on a pillar talks about the donation made to a Rama temple in this particular village. Right? All clear. Thank you. Then we'll come to, so I have given you a note on Chalukyas of Badami. You please go through it. So they built temples in the Vesara style. The temples are found at Aihole, Badami, Pattadakkal. So Chalukyas of Badami, the later Chalukyas introduced the Vesara style. And then their successors. So Chalukyas of Badami were followed by the Rashtrakutas. The Rashtrakutas were followed by their feudatories, the Kalyana Chalukyas. The Kalyana Chalukyas. And further, the Kalyana Chalukya kingdom got divided into three parts: Hoysalas, Yadavas, and Kakatiyas. So the Kalyana Chalukyas were succeeded by the Hoysalas in one part. And all these Badami Chalukyas, all these four dynasties, Badami Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, Kalyana Chalukyas, and Hoysalas followed the Vesara style. Vesara style of temple building. Of course, Kalyana, in the later stages, it became more and more stellar. Under Hoysalas, it becomes like a star. This became like a star. The temple became like a star under Hoysalas. Okay, right. So we'll come back here. Then we have what is known as a mega rally was held in present-day Jharkhand. Also, many tribes, thousands of tribes congregated, I believe, and they were demanding something called a Sarna code. So, what is a Sarna code? Sarna code. So here, tribals of India, particularly areas of Jharkhand, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, etc., they are demanding that the tribals be recognized as a separate religion, and they call that religion as Sarna religion. So tribals are nature worshippers. They say that you recognize us as a separate religion, all the tribals of India, and they're calling that religion as Sarna religion. So they want the central government to recognize Sarna religion as a separate religion in the next census. And they said that you implement this Sarna code, that you will be fulfilling that promise. Otherwise, we are going to boycott the coming Lok Sabha polls. So tribals are saying we will not vote in the present upcoming Lok Sabha polls. We will not vote. They are saying. So that is called Sarna code. So there was a Maha rally, thousands and lakhs of tribals congregated at Jharkhand. Jharkhand is supposed to be the epicenter of this tribal movement. This is called Sarna Code. So otherwise, if this code is not granted, what will happen? The tribals will be either recognized as part of Hinduism or Islam or Christianity. So they are saying we don't want to be part of Hinduism, Christianity, or Islam. You recognize us as a separate religion, and that is called Sarna Code. Did you get me? This is Sarna Code. Hello, yeah. Pooja says, in which era goddess's birth? We have worship of Mother Goddess as early as Harappan civilization, isn't it? Mother Goddess was worshipped. We have a seal. What is a seal? A clay tablet has been found at Mohenjo-daro, where we have a female. Her head is down. Two of her legs are pointing to the sky, as if she's in a Shirshasana posture. And between her legs, through her womb, there's a plant seen growing. So historians believe, archaeologists believe that probably this was the personification of the Mother Earth. So the Harappans had given a form to Mother Earth, and they used to worship Mother Earth because we get food, plants are grown from Mother Earth. So they used to worship Mother Earth, and they had given her a form. So she's called Mother Goddess. So it is as old as that. So Nikhil, yeah. See, the thing is that everybody, I did not name Northeast tribals are demanding. I'm saying many tribals living in other parts of India, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, okay, then Jharkhand, parts of Bihar, parts of Andhra, even I believe 100 tribals from Nepal came and also supported this demand. So this is called Sarna Code. Otherwise, they'll be slaughtered under Hinduism or Islam or Christianity, which they don't want to. So whoever are nature worshippers are demanding this. Many of the Northeast tribal, people are Christian worship. They follow Christianity, though they are tribals. They follow Christianity. Many of them, like for example, 60% of Mizoram is Christianity. They follow Christianity. Okay, so we'll come back here. Did you understand Sarna code? Femina, say cookie zo. Okay, fine. Are you there with me, all of you? Clear, easy, no? Not complicated. Then we come to the last topic of the day, a Ram temple at Ayodhya built in Nagara style. So, not yet recognized. Gaurav, Sarnaism is recognized as religion, not yet. They are demanding that Sarna be recognized as a separate religion. Many of the tribals. Ritu, what is the connection of this with Chalukya temple? I told you these temples belong to the Chalukya era, the Badami Chalukya era, right? But then this has got a unique style, which is called Kadamba Nagara and Reka Nagara style, right? So I have explained that. So I don't know about those things. That this was a Maha rally established. Maybe they want the central government to recognize Gaurav, not the state government. State government might have recognized, Jharkhand government might have recognized Sarnaism as a separate religion. That's what Gaurav is telling. I'm not sure about it. I don't know about that. They want the central government to recognize. That's why I said they will boycott the Lok Sabha polls if the central government doesn't recognize Sarna religion as a separate religion in the next census. So I made it very clear. How will they benefit from a new religion? Of course, since they are backward, probably they will ask for reservations, etc. Instead of sharing the reservation with the backward classes of Hindus or the backward class Muslims, okay, or Christians, they would want to have a separate ratio allotted to them as part of the reservations. Probably that could be one reason. So that's what it is. Then funds are allocated to tribal areas, separate funds are allocated. So all these things are there. Okay. So let us talk about the Ram temple at Ayodhya. So it was in the news. Prana Pratishta was done by the Prime Minister on January 22nd, 2024. So, this is supposedly in the Nagara style. You can see here the picture of the Ram temple at Ayodhya. Okay, so this has got 3 floors, I believe. This has got 3 floors. Temple can accommodate 1,500 people at a time. 1,500 people at a time. Expected daily footfall is 1 to 2 lakhs, etc. So we will confine our discussion to Nagara style. So this temple is supposed to have been built on the Nagara style. So it was in the news, right? And they have used sandstones from Rajasthan, sandstone from Rajasthan's Bansi Paharpur area. Now, one particular architectural aspect which has been introduced in Ram Temple at Ayodhya is the Parkota. So a rectangular periphery called Parkota. This Parkota or rectangular periphery. So the temple has been built in a rectangular within a rectangular periphery called Parkota. This is supposed to be unique to Dravida style, South Indian temples. Otherwise, the temple follows the Nagara style. Now, and of course, a compound wall in a North Indian temple, compound wall is not there. Okay, but here we have a compound wall, and then in Ram Temple at Ayodhya, we have a compound wall. We have a Parkota or a rectangular periphery within which the temple has been built. So these are some of the southern features which have been incorporated in the Ayodhya temple. So it's a hybrid style, not strictly Nagara, mostly Nagara, but some South Indian features are also added. So we will discuss Nagara style. This is another picture you can see of the Ayodhya temple. So we will talk about Nagara style. So you see from the 5th century AD onwards, we have the Shilpa Shastra books. Shilpa Shastra books on Indian architecture, mentioned 3 forms of temple styles. So North Indian style is called Nagara. This is in North India. South India, it is called Dravida. And Vesara style is a combination of North Indian Nagara plus Dravida. Nagara plus Dravida is Vesara style. Now, I'll draw a map. Don't take my map seriously. I'm not good at drawing maps. So let's say this is India. Okay, now, so wait, let me draw a better map. Oh my God. So let me draw a better map. Let's say this is India. Okay, now look here. In North India, North Indian style is called Nagara. So this is Nagara for you. I'll write Nagara here. Okay. Now, Dravida is South India. You all know. This is Dravida. Now, in the central portion of India, that is, if you draw a line like this, if you draw a straight line like this or a circle like this, what are the 3 states available here? We have Orissa. This is Orissa. Okay, this is Orissa. You all know. This is Odisha. This is Madhya Pradesh. And this is Gujarat. Now, in these 3 states, Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, we have sub-schools of Nagara. So Nagara temples have some standard features, right? We will discuss the standard features. Then we will also discuss the regional variations to Nagara style in Orissa, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Now, how does a Nagara temple look like? What are the various features of a Nagara temple? Let's talk about that. Number 1, we have the temple which has been built in the Panchayatana style. So what is Panchayatana style? Panchayatan style. Panchayatan style. You see, we have the Garbhagriha. I'll draw. So this is the Garbhagriha, in English, Sanctum Sanctorum. So let us say this is a Shiva temple with a door here. And this is the spire in North India, which is curvilinear. So this is the main part of the temple. The Garbhagriha is square in shape, with a curvilinear tower. And then around the Garbhagriha, we have 4 subsidiary shrines. You see here, these are 4 subsidiary shrines, all under the same roof, all under the same. So the roof is common, the ceiling is common, the roof is common. Around the Garbhagriha, we have 4 subsidiary shrines. For example, this could be a shrine for the consort of Shiva. So if this is a Shiva temple, I have taken the example of a Shiva temple. So wife of Shiva, she could be called by different names. Okay, so it's consort of Shiva. This could be a small room or a cell for Ganesha. This could be for Hanuman, let us say Hanuman. And this is the Navagrahas, the 9 planets, Navagrahas. So in North Indian temples, the temple is built in the Panchayatana style, Nagara style. It is called Panchayatana style. Okay. This is number 1. Number 2 is, understand this, very simple, easy topic. So nothing to, it's just about understanding. Panchayatana style. Number one. Number two is we have on the Garbhagriha. What's the Garbhagriha? The main deity has been installed in the Garbhagriha, and we have a door. Okay, so imagine this is the door. I'll show you the picture, becomes easy. So you see on your screen, you see a door. This is the door of the Garbhagriha. Now, on the door jambs, these are called door jambs. 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 On the door jambs on either side, we have river goddesses Ganga and Yamuna with their mounts displayed. Ganga here, you can see crocodile, Makara. Makara means crocodile. So Ganga, river Ganga with her mount called Makara, and Yamuna with a tortoise. So in North Indian temples, we have on the door jambs, river goddesses Ganga and Yamuna depicted along with their mounts. Third is there is no temple tank. Temple tank is not there in North Indian temples. So no temple tank. Temple tank absent. Number four, boundary wall absent. Boundary wall is absent. Compound wall is absent. Number five, so here, so temple tank is absent, boundary wall is absent. Then generally it's made of bricks. In North India, temples are made of bricks, right? Then there are three types of shikaras. Generally, what's a shikara? A curvilinear tower. So generally, three types of shikaras are found. Three types of shikaras. But then these are the most popular. There are actually five types of shikaras, but three types are popular. What are the three types of shikara? We'll come to that. Latina or Rekha Prasad. Latina or Rekha Prasad is number one. A. B is called Famsana. C is called Vallabhi. And we have two more. Bhumija is one, and of course, the one with S. Forget the name. I'll tell you in some time. So Latina Rekha Prasad, Famsana, Vallabhi, Bhumija, and then Shitij or something like that. I forget that name. I'll get back to you. So these are the three popular types of shikaras. Now, then the temple has been built on a Jagati. What is a Jagati? A platform. I'll show you the picture. Just hold on. So the temple has been built on a platform. You have a pillared approach. So you have a pillared approach. That is, you climb the Jagati or a platform, and then you have a mandap. What's a mandap? An entrance hall. So generally, the mandap is made large so that maximum number of devotees congregate. So you enter the temple, you climb the steps, and then you enter a hall called mandapa, and then and it has got pillars. So the pillars are supporting the roof. Okay, and then you approach the Garbhagriha through this pillared corridor. Okay, via the mandapa. So you have a pillared approach. So these are the okay. So three types of shikaras. No temple tank. Boundary wall is absent. Made of generally bricks. Three types of shikaras. Okay, Jagati, pillared approach. Then you have a fluted disc. I'm coming to that. This is called shikara in North India. There's an amalaka. You can see here amalaka. So this is called an amalaka. Amalaka is a fluted disc in English. It's called fluted disc. A fluted disc. Then on top is a kalasha. A kalasha has been kept. Kalasha. So these are pretty much the standard features of a Nagara temple. So you can see here on your screen, you can see this picture I have put. So on your screen, so here we have the Jagati plinth. Plinth means platform. So it has been built on a height. plinth or a platform. Then these are the mandapas. Now you can have one mandapa or you can have three or more mandapas. Like for example, in Madhya Pradesh, under the Chandels, we'll come to that. They have Ardha Mandapa, Mandapa, Maha Mandapa. So you enter a small mandap, that's called Ardha Mandapa. Then you have another mandapa, slightly bigger. You can see the diagram here. You see these three domes, they are of different size. So this is called Ardha Mandapa, this is Mandapa, and this is Maha Mandapa. And then you have pillars supporting the roof. So you enter the temple like that. This is the Garbhagriha where the main deity has been installed. It's called womb house. On top of the Garbhagriha, we have a curvilinear tower. A curvilinear tower. This is called a Shikara, as you can see. Then you have the idol which has been placed here. Okay. Now I'll show you another picture. Just hold on. You can see here, this is called a dual on your screen. This is called a dual, the curvilinear tower. This is called Amalak, a fluted disc, and then Kalash is there. Are you there with me, all of you? Axis Mundi is a center of the center. That is called the Axis Mundi, center of the universe. So the tower mimics a mountain. So initially there were about 20 temples, I believe, 20 types of temples. Initially, there were 20 types of temples. And the most popular are Meru, Mandara, and Kailasa. These are three types of temples: Meru, Mandara, Kailasa. They are now named after mountains. They are all mountains, as you know. And the Shikara, the curvilinear tower, mimics a mountain. So this is a human representation, a man-made representation of the cosmos, of the mountain or the entire universe as such. And in the middle of the universe, you have God, that is the Garbhagriha. So this is a human construct. Now you come back here. So then you have the temple. The temple wall. Temple is divided into three parts. In North India, depending upon the size of the temple walls have been divided into three parts. These are called three Ratha temples. Three Ratha temples. Where you have three walls into three divisions of walls. Then some later they built much bigger temples. So therefore you have five divisions, Pancharatha. So three Ratha, Pancharatha. Then still more bigger temples, Saptaratha, seven walls. Then 9 walls, Navaratha. So you can have three Ratha, Pancharatha, Saptaratha, Navaratha. Okay, so depending upon the size of the temple. So you can see here on your screen another picture I have put. This is the steps. You climb the temple through these steps. Okay, you climb like this, and then you have an upraised platform. You can see upraised platform. Then you have the sanctum sanctorum here. This is called a mandapa. So this is an Ardha Mandapa. In the picture here, Ardha Mandapa. And this is the mandapa meant for the congregation of devotees. This is a sanctum sanctorum Garbhagriha. Then you have a pillared approach. So you have pillars supporting the roof of that temple. Then you have a shikara. You can see the shikara, right? And this has been built on a platform. Are you there with me, all of you? Right? So we'll come back here. Let us discuss the Northern Nagara style on your screen. So it has been built in the Panchayatana style. Then you have assembly halls, mandaps in front of the principal shrine. So mandap is generally big, meant for the congregation of devotees. Outside the Garbhagriha, river goddesses Ganga and Yamuna have been placed along with their vehicles. Mounts like Makara and Tortoise. No water tanks in northern temples or reservoirs. It has been built on an upraised platform, Jagati. The porticos have a pillared approach. So you have pillars supporting the roof. So you enter the temple via the mandapa and you have pillars supporting the roof of the temple. There are three types of shikaras, Latina or Rekha Prasad, Famsana, Vallabhi. I'll come to that, just hold on. Then we have a fluted disc. So the curvilinear dual meets a fluted disc called Amalaka, on top of which there is a Kalash kept. Then the wall of the temple has been divided into three vertical three vertical planes. They are called Three Ratha temples. Then later you have Pancharatha, Saptaratha, and Navaratha. So 5, 7, 9. So all odd numbers 3, 5, 7, 9. Right? Then on the walls of these temples, you have beautiful sculptures from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas. They're all depicted. Stories from these epics and Puranas. The Pradakshina Patha. What is Pradakshina Patha? Ambulatory passage. So once you finish the darshan, you're supposed to go around the temple. So in North Indian temples, Nagara style, it is within the temple complex. In other words, there's a roof on top. So if it is raining heavily, if it is very hot, you will not be affected because the Pradakshina is within the around the sanctum, within the temple. It is covered. It is covered. There's a roof on top. Okay. Did not have elaborate boundary walls. So, or gateways. There's no Gopura. What's a gateway? Gopuram. Gopuram is not there. And boundary walls are not there in North Indian temples. Are you there with me? Hello. What is ambulatory passage? Pradakshina, ambulatory. You take a pradakshin, go around the temple, around the idol, main idol. That's called ambulatory. Are you there with me? All of you. Clear? So, right now, we have the most important part of North Indian temple is the Garbhagriha. Even South Indian temple, the most important part is Garbhagriha. And on top of the Garbhagriha, we have a Shikara. Now, Adam Hardy, Adam Hardy was an art historian. He divides the Shikaras into 5 types. So, depending upon the geographical region where these temples were built, depending upon the time during which these temples were built. So, on the basis of geography, on the basis of time, as to when these temples were built, there are 5 types of Shikaras. So, Latina or Rekha Prasad, Famsana, Vallabhi, Shikari, and Bhumija. Now, on your screen, Latina or Rekha Prasad, you can see the picture. A picture speaks 1,000 words. That's why I have given you a picture, put a picture there. So here, this is called a Latina or Rekha Prasad. As you can see, this is the most common type of Shikara. It is square at the base. So this is square. You see, this is square at the base. And the spire curves to a point at the top. You can see, it is curving to a point at the top. Okay, so this part is called Latina or Rekha Prasad. Generally, this type of Shikara was used to house the Garbhagriha. So Garbhagriha was usually made on top of the Garbhagriha, you have a Latina or Rekha Prasad Shikara depicted. So generally used for a Garbhagriha. Most common type of Shikara is this, Latina or Rekha Prasad in North India. Then we have Famsana on your screen, Famsana. Generally, Famsana Shikaras were used for a mandap. What's a mandap? What's a mandapa? Entrance hall. Entrance hall of a temple meant for the congregation of devotees. So as you can see here, it has several slabs. You can see here, there are several slabs like this, and gently they rise to the top. There is no curve. Slope upwards, they slope upwards on a straight incline, and they do not curve inwards. Like in Latina, it is curving, whereas in Famsana, it is not curving. They gently rise on top, right? And they have a broader base, shorter in height than Latina, and broader base. Generally, Famsana used for mandapa. Second type of Shikara. Third, Vallabhi. You can see here on your screen, Vallabhi. So here, this is a rectangular building. So this is rectangular in shape, right? And then you have a bullock cart. Remember bullock carts? Bullock carts have a canopy. Okay, you must have seen in paintings or in the village side, you have a bullock cart which has a canopy like this, like this. So in such a temple, we have the Shikara, which is in the form of they have a wagon vaulted roof. You see here, it's like this. Wagon is the bullock cart. It is like this. Okay, it is like that. It goes like that. You can see here on your screen. So it is like this, like this. It curves. Did you get me that? This is called wagon vaulted roof. Okay, like that. So wagon vaulted, they're called wagon vaulted buildings. Okay. So the edge of the vaulted chamber is round, like this bamboo or wooden wagons, which was used in ancient times for bullock carts. This is Vallabhi. So Latina or Rekha Prasad, Famsana, Vallabhi, then Shikari. So we have a hybrid Latina called Shikari. So hybrid composite Latina. So Latina is developed into Shikari and Bhumij later from the 10th century onwards. So Shikari, you can see here on your screen. So we have the main Shikara, the curvilinear tower, and we have mini Shikaras, that is subspires. You can see subspire or spirelets. They mimic the main Shikara. They are small in size, these mini spirelets, subspires. You can see here on your screen. These are all mini spirelets. So they mimic the main Shikara, and they almost run most of the face of the Shikara. And there could be more than one size. These mini spirelets could be of more than one size, and they cover the entire face of the Shikara. This is Shikari. Okay. Um then we have Bhumija. You can see another type of Shikara, Bhumija. Here you have small spires running horizontally and vertically. You see here on your screen, it is running horizontally. You can see here horizontally and vertically also. Vertically also. So, and of course, the actual Shikara looks like a pyramid. It is more of a pyramid than curvilinear. In Latina, it curves, whereas this is more like a pyramid, the ultimate shape of the Shikara. And we have miniature spires which run horizontally and vertically, creating a grid-like effect. These are the 3 to 4, 5 types of Shikaras according to Adam Hardy. Right? Now, this is the standard Nagara temples, standard features of a Nagara temple. In Orissa, in Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, we have sub-schools of Nagara temples. First of all, Odisha school in Orissa. So as you can see here, Orissa, we have the exterior walls are lavishly decorated. Exterior walls of the temple lavishly decorated. Interior walls are plain. Inside it is plain. External temple walls are lavishly decorated. There is no use of pillars in the temple. Iron girders are used to support the roof. You can see here, these are the iron girders, like this. Iron girders are there, like this, or it could be like this. You got it? It could be like this. The roof of the temple is sitting on those iron girders. There are no pillars supporting the roof. Iron girders are supporting the roof. Okay, clear? This is Odisha temple. This is again a sub-school of Nagara style, Femina. Right? So, this is number 2. Then in Odisha, the Shikaras are called Rekha duels. Rekha duels are Latina type. So they are almost straight and suddenly curved to a point at the top. You can see here on your screen. This is example of a Rekha duel. If they are straight, they are straight and suddenly they curve inward to a point at the top. So they are having Rekha duels. Mandapas in Odisha are called Jagmohanas. What is a mandapa? Entrance hall. That is called Jagan Mohan. Ground plan of the main temple is square. That is the Garbhagriha is square. And they have a boundary wall. So in Dravida temples, Odisha temples have a boundary wall. So these are the various features of a Odisha temple. Exterior walls lavishly decorated. Interior walls plain. Number 1. Number 2 is iron girders support the roof. So there's no pillar supporting the roof. Third is the Shikara is called Rekha duel. It is a Latin or Rekha duel type of Shikara. The main temple, Garbhagriha, is square in shape. Mandapa is called Jagmohan. Right? Examples: Sun Temple at Konark, the Jagannath Temple at Puri, and the Lingaraja Temple at Bhubaneswar. So this is the Sun Temple at Konark. Then we have the Jagannath Temple at Puri and the Lingaraja Temple at Bhubaneswar in Orissa. Okay, this is Odisha school. Then we come to Khajuraho, Chandel school. So Chandelas of Bundelkhand ruled Madhya Pradesh, parts of Madhya Pradesh. And they added some unique features to Nagara style in Madhya Pradesh. So first of all, both interior and exterior walls are lavishly decorated with sculptures, interior and exterior walls. Then, interestingly, these sculptures are erotic in nature. The theme is Kama Sutra Vatsyayana. So, Vatsyayana wrote Kama Sutra, the earliest book on sexuology in India. So there are many chapters in that. The main theme of Vatsyayana's Kama Sutra is how a Nagarika is supposed to choose his bride. Nagarika is a city dweller. He is wealthy. He's got his own source of income, and he is of marriageable age. And how to choose a bride for himself. So this is the main theme. And here you have other chapters of Kama Sutra. Now, very interestingly, on the outer walls, understand this, on the outer walls of these temples, we have Mithuna sculptures. That is male and female shown in various sexual postures. You have gone there to pray and you are wondering what the hell, what are these sculptures? It is disturbing your mind. Now, you might wonder why have been such erotic sculptures depicted on a temple wall. You've gone to pray there and you are totally in a different state of mind. I was actually, when I went long time back, I was shocked. At the same time, something very unique which we have never seen. Now, the main purpose is we don't see such sculptures inside the temple. On the outer walls, we find such sculptures. Now, what is the meaning of this? Why has it been depicted like this? You see, there are three methods to attain moksha. What is moksha? Freedom from rebirth. So, as a human being, when we are born on this earth, we have to go through the ups and downs of life. However rich or poor you are, you will have problems, tension, etc. So when you attain moksha, what is moksha? Freedom from rebirth. You don't want to be born on this earth. You're always in heaven. You're always in heaven. So therefore, you are not be affected by the ups and downs of life. So there are three methods to attain moksha. Gnana Marga. Yeah. Gnana Marga. Number 2 is Bhakti Marga. And number 3 is Karma Marga. Gnana Marga is path of knowledge, has recommended by Jainism and Brahmanism, where Hinduism believes in Gnana Marga and Jainism. Bhakti Marga is Bhagavatism, worship of Krishna, believes in Bhakti Marga. You worship your chosen God or deity without any selfish motive. And if you are able to win the grace of that God or goddess, he will give you, or he or she will give you whatever you want. That is Bhakti Marga, including yoga, including moksha. He will give you moksha. Karma Marga, that is has recommended by Lord Buddha. If you do good things will happen to you. If you do bad things will happen to you. So there are three standard methods of attaining moksha in Hinduism among the Hindus: Gnana Marga, Bhakti Marga, Karma Marga, among Buddhists and Jains also. One more has been added, that is called under Tantrism, under Tantric Hinduism or Tantrism, one can attain moksha through sexual practices. One can attain moksha through sexual practices, and these have been depicted on the outer walls of the temple, not inside the temple. So, as a human being, we have some aims of life. I teach this as part of Vedic period, Purusharthas. So, as a human being, you have some aims of life: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma is righteousness. Do your dharma? Dharma of whatever. As a student, you learn your lessons. As a teacher, I should do my dharma properly. As a businessman, you do business properly. Dharma, righteousness. Karma, dharma, artha, gaining wealth. So dharma, artha, kama, satisfying your desires, including sexual desires. Moksha, salvation. You don't want to be born on this earth. So the sculptor is showing all those on the outer walls. As a human being, we have we like some things, food, going to a exotic place, owning something very costly, something very nice. It could be clothes, it could be a car, it could be a building, etc., 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 and including attraction to the opposite sex. So all these have been depicted on the outer walls of the temple. But once you enter the holy precincts of the temple, inside, all these are not shown. So what is the sculptor trying to convey? You forget about all those things, and just focus on the deity, because only he or she, that deity, can give you salvation, moksha. So this is the symbolic representation of that. That's why it is shown on the outer walls of the temple, not inside the temple. So you have erotic in nature. Then temples are made of sandstone. They are from cream to pink. Then there are three chambers here. Look here on your screen. You have a Ardha Mandapa, Mandapa, Mahamandapa. You can see a picture here on your screen. This is the picture of the Kandaraya Mahadeva temple in Khajuraho, Madhya Pradesh. So here, see, you enter the temple like this. Okay. The temple is east facing. There's an Ardha Mandapa, entrance porch. Then you have a slightly bigger Mandapa, Mandapa. Then Mahamandapa. So there are three mandapas: Ardha Mandapa, Mandapa, Mahamandapa. Then you have an Antarala. What is Antarala? That corridor which connects the Mandapa to the Garbhagriha. So I'll show you another picture. The corridor which connects the Mandapa to the Garbhagriha is called Antarala. Then we have the Urushringa. There is subsidiary shikaras are there. There's not only one shikar. There are smaller shikaras called Urushringa. This is the shikara, the main shikara. Amalaka is the fluted disc on top of which there's a kalash kept. Garbhagriha is here. Then you have Pradakshina within the temple. So within the temple you have Pradakshina. Jagati is this, which is built on a platform. We have Adhisthana, that is base platform. This is the base platform. There are transepts, small idols have been kept on the outside. So this is how the Khajuraho temple looks like. Temples in Khajuraho look like. So there are three chambers: Ardha Mandapa, Garbhagriha, Mandapa, Ardha Mandapa, and an Antarala. Antarala is a vestibule which connects the Mandapa to the Garbhagriha. Temples are generally north or east facing in Madhya Pradesh. Then Panchayatana style is used. Main shrine and four subsidiary shrines. Temples have a relatively higher platform, so 10 to 12 feet in height. The height of the temple is more. And then the shrines at Khajuraho are dedicated to Shiva, Vishnu, and the Jain faith. So Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Jainism, not Buddhism. Example, Kandariya Mahadeva temple, Lakshmana temple at Khajuraho. So this is the Kandariya Mahadeva temple at Khajuraho. I have another picture here. You can see number one, this is Ardha Mandapa. Number two, this is Mandapa. Number three, Mahamandapa. Number four, you can see that is called Antarala. What is this Antarala? It connects the Mandapa to the Garbhagriha. Did you get me? Antarala connects the Mandapa to the Garbhagriha. That's called Himrata. What is the purpose of a Kalash? See, Kalasha is, which is, you see, when you go to a temple, the Pujari, the Purohit will do the Arati with the fire. And then he will give you tirtha. He'll give you that charged water. Tulsi leaves are there in that. The idol of the god or goddess would have been washed in that water. So it absorbs the positive energies, all the energies from that idol. And how is the idol charged? How is it made? How is it charged? Through mantras. So when mantras are sung in front of the idols absorb all those energies from the mantras. And when the idol is washed, the water has tiny molecules. They absorb the positive energy from that idol, and you when you have it, you consume it. It goes into your body. So here the kalash on top is supposed to be containing the amrut. It is symbolic representation of the container which contains the amrut. The gods and the demons fought for amrut, isn't it? So kalash is placed on top of the temple. And there are yakshas guarding the kalash, the four yakshas. You must have seen pot-bellied yakshas. They have horns on their head. Their teeth is coming out, and they have a sword in their hand. So they are guarding the kalash. And when the pujari gives you the tirtha after the arati, it is supposed to be the symbolic representation of the amrut coming down from the summit of from the top of the temple into the pot of the pujari, and that's what you're consuming. So that is supposed to be the symbolic representation of amrut, Hemalata. So Antarala is that corridor which connects the mandapa to the Garbhagriha. Then we have the Garbhagriha. This is the Garbhagriha where the main deity is installed. Pradakshina, you can see in the red color arrow mark. Pradakshina is inside the temple. We have transepts here. Transepts on the outer walls. Small idols have been kept. Jagati is the platform. Jagati, it has been built on a platform. And then we have Panchayatana style, subsidiary shrines. This is Kandariya Mahadeva temple. Are you there with me? And then we come to Solanki style. Solankis in Gujarat, Rajasthan. We have the Chalukyas of Gujarat, also called the Solankis. So what type of temples they built? So you can see the temple walls are devoid of any carvings. No carvings on the temple walls. The mandapa is connected to the Garbhagriha both internally and externally. So Garbhagriha and connected with mandapa both internally and externally. Porticos of decorated arch gateways called toranas. So you have porticos of the temple have arched gateways called toranas. See, I have put a picture here on your screen. This is a toran. So this is an arched gateway, beautifully carved, as you can see. I have to put two separate pictures. So these are arched gateways called torans. Then there are there's a temple tank. There's a step tank called Surya Kund in the proximity of the temple. You can see here in the picture. This is the picture of the Surya Kund Sun Temple at Modhera, Gujarat. You have a tank here. You have a tank, and then on the steps of the tank, we have small temples. You can see these are all small temples on the steps of the tank. Okay, so you have uh, a step tank is there, so we call Surya Kund. Then on the steps of the tank, we have small temples. Material used is sandstone, black basalt, soft marble, and the temple is east facing. So temple is east facing, so that during the equinoxes, March, if I'm right, March 21st, September 23rd. So during the equinoxes, the sun's rays directly fall into the Garbhagriha and slowly rise up. So the temple is dark. It is lit through with the help of lamps, fire lamps. But on these 2 days, equinoxes, the sun's rays directly fall into the Garbhagriha and natural light will brighten up the idol of the god or goddess. So this is very unique to the Solanki style. Best example, Modhera Sun Temple at Gujarat, built by King Bhimdev. So this is the Modhera Sun Temple at Gujarat. So these are the three regional sub-schools of Nagara style. So we have discussed the Nagara style and then regional sub-schools of Nagara styles. Okay, so this ends this particular session. I hope it was fruitful. Any doubts, you can mail me to this particular mail. Sorry, vijay.kumar@byju's.com. Any doubts, clarifications, please mail me. I might have not answered all your questions because I was busy teaching, but then I hope it was fruitful. So thank you very much. Yeah, a good night. This is the end of the session. I'm logging out. Yes. We'll meet tomorrow morning batch.